At number 5 we show you about the Keystone oil pipelines. Speed up environmental reviews for infrastructure projects including the Dakota Access and Keystone oil pipelines. Mr. President signed the executive order for this pipeline.
This is with regard to the construction of the Keystone pipeline, something that's been in dispute, and it's subject to a renegotiation of terms by us. We're going to renegotiate some of the terms, and if they'd like, we'll see if we can get that pipeline built. A lot of jobs, 28,000 jobs, great construction jobs.
Very surprisingly, US President Donald Trump and Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke on the phone for the first time last night and swapped invitations during what was described as a warm conversation. President Trump emphasized that the US considers India a true friend and partner in addressing challenges around the world, the White House said in readout of the call. President Trump has invited PM Modi to visit the US later this year. In tweets this morning, the Prime Minister said he had also invited the US President to India. President Donald Trump is expected to sign executive orders starting on Wednesday that include a temporary ban on most refugees and a suspension of visas for citizens of Syria and 6 other Middle Eastern and African countries, according to several congressional aides and immigration experts briefed on the matter. Another order will block visas being issued to anyone from Syria, Iraq, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen, said the aides and experts, who asked not to be identified. His most significant order immediately withdrew the US from the Trans-Pacific Partnership, a multilateral free trade agreement between the US and 11 other Pacific Rim countries. The pact, aimed at counterbalancing China's growing economic clout in East Asia, was among the Obama administration's signature foreign policy achievements and a cornerstone of the pivot to Asia. But the agreement also drew its share of domestic criticism on both sides of the campaign aisle. Both Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton, who initially supported it, and her primary rival Bernie Sanders criticized the pact for not doing enough to support American workers. Trump was among its most vociferous critics, at one point calling it a continuing rape of our country. Here's his speech before election.
I will announce our withdrawal from the Trans-Pacific Partnership, a potential disaster for our country.
All right, we're going to sign 3 memorandums right now. The first one is withdrawal from the United States from the Trans-Pacific Partnership.
Everyone knows what that means, right? We've been talking about it. Okay.
President Trump on Wednesday will order the construction of a Mexican border wall, the first in a series of actions this week to crack down on immigrants and bolster national security.
Beginning today, the United States of America gets back control of its borders, gets back its borders.
The orders are among an array of national security directives Mr. Trump is considering issuing in the coming days, according to people who have seen the order. But the Mexican PM refused President Trump's decision.
Will American taxpayers pay for the wall?
Ultimately, it'll come out of what's happening with Mexico. We're going to be starting those negotiations relatively soon, and we will be in a form reimbursed by Mexico, which I've always said.
So they'll pay us back?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
When does construction begin?
As soon as we can. As soon as we can physically do it, we're...
Within months?
I would say in months, yeah. I would say in months. Certainly planning is starting immediately.